I feel because of the way the country is being ruled by the president.
That you, God was, I'm telling you, when I saw that, I was really, really glad that you came.
They never understand it. It's Jimmy Whitey.
Good morning and welcome to Jimmy White TV podcast. It's a lovely morning, a beautiful morning. You can see outside, and I got your friend around today, and this time around, your friend will always be here with us, and everybody know who I'm talking about. First of all, we are seeing the lovely place outside that place. It is like looking sunny, but I'm going to ask somebody that came out from outside, because I didn't come out from outside, I was inside, and that person came out from outside. But anyway, I got a test on this podcast today, and this time around, a test is around with us to discuss a particular topic that that topic is so really something that she need to be around to. I just don't want to do it alone to discuss with me. But anyway, Edes, welcome to Jimmy White TV podcast, and thank you for seeing your face once more again. How was your journey and how was the weather today? Because you are coming from outside.
Yeah.
So how was the journey and how was your weather today? Because you are coming from outside. So how was the weather?
First of all, my journey was lovely, but it's so cold outside.
With all this sun that is there.
Even though that is sunny, it's very, very cold.
It's very cold. Yeah. Wow, he said it's very, 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 very cold. Wow. So what have you been up to this time? Because we have not been seeing you. What have you been up to? And what has been going on? And we have not seen you for some time now. So what really happened? And you just go off. What really happened?
I've been busy working, and at the same time I've been doing my programs as well. So my diary is quite
okay. That's fine. Anyway, we're all saying glory to God that you are here. Yeah. Welcome once again. We have a very crucial matter that we need to discuss about Nigeria, because this is 2027 election. Do you know that the election is run? I know you are a Nigerian, but though you were born in this country, and quite sometimes you have really been in Nigeria. It's not like it's 1 day, 2 days. You have been in Nigeria several times, and you always go, and you're even planning to go this time. Is that also? Yeah, you have been in Nigeria up and on and gone. So a lot of things then definitely mean that you know a lot of information that are happening down there, and that is why we are as a Nigerian, we are really serious and want to get to know that things are really working well. But anyway, before we jump into the matter of the day, I want us to go on to watch the video of what we are about to talk about, but before, let me give a hint of the tips of what, because I know you already know, I've given you the hint already, but I will let it, the audience here, that they should understand what we are. It's about the genocide in Nigeria, the genocide of killing the Christian, because there was an information that went to America that there's a lot of genocide in Nigeria, and Nigerian Christian has been killed by a certain people who go around that is a Christian, it's a religious war. And because of that, they are trying to ban the Nigerian, to sanction Nigerian in so many things, because of they feel that the Christians has been genocide in Nigeria. And the Nigerian assemblies are trying to go to the Americans and Strauss, there's Strauss, what they call that guy, there's Strauss or what they call that guy, and that the guy trying to go and explain to him and give him the appropriate information that he need to know that Nigerians, their genocide is not really happening in Nigeria, there's no killing. But I want to answer you one or two questions. But before we go into that question, we want us to watch this video and see what the assemblies and the ministers, the assembly, and people that are concerned in the assemblies of the genocide in Nigeria. Let's watch the video and see. And we are going to come back after this video because we need to watch it with you guys together, and so that we can establish the real fact of this matter. But before now, we are going to see and come back. Is that also? Yeah. Then we discuss about it. So I'll see you after.
Nigeria Senate is taking on Washington, calling out what it says are false claims of, quote, a Christian genocide. Lawmakers are saying the violence they're tearing through part of the country is not a religious war, but a broader security crisis driven by terrorism, poverty, and crime. The Senate now plans to send a delegation to the United States Congress to tell Nigeria's side of the story head on. But can this diplomatic counteroffensive change the global narrative, or is the damage already done? The Senate president now have to react into lawmakers speaking from the floor. Let me allow you to hear just a few seconds of what the plan of the National Assembly is on that matter.
It's also capable of affecting the dignity of Nigerians wherever they go to. Therefore, we must have a strategy to approach this issue. And so, leader of the Senate, my personal opinion is that this has been brought to the fore of the Senate, and then we must have exhaustive deliberations in closed session on this, and then we must also come up with a strategy to correct the misinterpretation, the misinformation, and at the same time educate the international community.
One of those who spoke eloquently on the floor today about this matter and are concerned also about the issue of security is Borno State federal lawmaker representing them in the Senate, Senator Ali Ndume, who is live for us here in our studio. Senator, thanks so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Sherry. It has been a while.
Yeah, let me get a quick comment from you on Professor Amupiton's appointment as INEC, nomination rather, as INEC chairman. Soon it will get to your front for screening.
Yeah, as the professor who you from INEC, Mustafa, that you spoke with just now, I don't know much about him, and I know that you'll ask me. So on my way coming, I asked some of my friends to tell me a little bit about it. But in summary, his colleague, I won't mention his name, who was with him in University of Jos, who has been with him for a very long time, I must say, made a very commendable, he said good things about him, and that he's quite a gentleman. He is from Kogi State, but he is also from Plateau, because he schooled in there.
All his degrees,
and now he's the vice chairman at the vice.
He's the vice chancellor in Jabo. He was a
vice chancellor in charge of admin.
Yeah, in Jos. Yeah,
in Jos now. So normally, when you have people like that from the academic background, and then taking the advice of what Professor Mustafa said, I think he should be able to do. And as for the Senate, normally, we are to do confirmation. So I'm sure before the president nominated him, he must have done some background check on it.
Do you think Nigerians trust what you do as a screening these days? Because he's a minister that has been accused.
Now, yeah, just ask me a question. Let's stop there and don't go anywhere again.
I'm giving you a background to this question.
Which I'm asking you. No, you don't need, you just say I should make comment. What brought me here is to talk about the misconception about the Nigerian situation.
But if you did a bad job in the Senate, you and your colleagues, the Minister of Science,
look,
now that have been accused,
we can't do a bad job.
It's a bad job because now the man is being alleged to have perjured himself, alleged to have forged his document, and it went through screening
Who?
Mr. Inaji, the Minister of Science and Technology and Innovation. He's resigned his appointment.
Look, don't go there. I don't want to talk about that, as I told you. This matter of forgery in Nigeria is a big problem, not only restricted to the political class, but even you now, I don't know your certificates if you are to.
I have classmates. I have different.
Everybody, all of these people have classmates. All these people, Naji, you say Naji has own classmates.
The question is that I've never come before the Senate.
Let's go and talk about what is more important.
Away from the fact that if there was a study job that was done by the Senate in screening such a person who said he said to have had.
We are not screening. Get it clear.
When the minister
and
appears
confirmation are two different things.
So when the minister comes before the Senate.
We confirm.
And so if you see that the degree or the certificate is...
How can we see
you do your background checks on basic things?
Wait now, before the president sends a candidate to the Senate, there are a lot of processes, including screening him on not only on certificates, but doing a background check by the SSS. The SSS have to clear him.
So it's not your fault.
Last time the SSS brought something against somebody, and we dropped the person. So it's not, don't say we are not doing our job. After all, we are just to screen. No, not screening even. We are not even to do the screening. We are to do confirmation. You know what confirmation? Go and check. That's your problem.
Let me take it to why. You and your colleagues have decided that you are going to go to the United States and confront them. What will you be telling the lawmakers in the U.S.?
That what Ted Cruz and co said is not true. It's not true to say that Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria. It's not true. You know that it's not true. And thank God, this thing came up from Ted Cruz, and it has been lingering around, dates back to 2020. And even in fact, Donald Trump in his first designated us as CPC. They call it CPC. That is country of particular concern, where a group of religion, believers of any type are being persecuted. That is the act, So that means sanctions would be applied. We had a feel of it when Nigeria wanted to buy the Tucanos. The Leahy, that time there was a Leahy law. It's now a retired senator, stopped us from there. It took the late president a lot of lobbying and some people to convince them that the terrorists have no religion concern about it. They just go about killing, and we needed the Tucanos. Fortunately, during the tenure of Joe Biden, that were removed from the CPC list. What Ted and co are now trying to do because of the recent incidences in the country, and unfortunately again, when a particular reverend from Benue, went before the Congress, it started in the U.S. Congress before Ted Cruz case. Ted Cruz is coming up with a bill to design Nigeria specifically as CPC and also to impose certain sanctions. And this have far-reaching effect on not only Muslims, so to say, but Nigerians. Because that means as we are fighting this war, majority or almost all the things that we use at the Nigerian security, the Nigerian army and security agencies use come from overseas. We don't even manufacture a bullet in Nigeria. So you see, when you have sanctions against a country like that, when now even with those equipment, we're still battling with the issue of insecurity in the country, and it seems to be even spreading all over. So if you have that jack on this thing of clock of not having supply of what the armed forces need, I don't know. I don't want to imagine.
So it has a heavy implication. Not only our reputation, but our diplomatic relations.
But now, if you go to I don't know whether you are a citizen or not, but if you come into America and they see Sheung, they will start running a check, keep you, instead of you to spend like 15 minutes at the airport, it may take you a day, or it may not. You may not even be able to go in, because if they designate you as somebody of a particular concern or politically exposed, then you're there. Now, and they are calling even sanctions on the government, people in government, and particularly politicians, even businessmen of Nigeria. It will even affect our social,
So the plan of the Senate, as being raised, is that you and some of your colleagues will go to the U.S. Congress with the hope of maybe meeting a Ted Cruz himself and sit down and address the issue with the United States Congress. That's the plan, isn't it?
Yeah, it's part of the plan. But as I said, we have it's on Tuesday that definite position will be taken on the prayers of my motion. They read the motion, and all of the senators, majority of the senators, I can say all the senators are in support of this motion.
You raised the motion today. What exactly was the prayer in your motion?
That's what I want to read it out for you here. The prayers are basically four. I think there are four prayers. First is to urge the federal government through Ministry of Foreign Affairs and security agencies and other relevant security agencies to enhance transparent and data-driven public communication, providing verified casualty figures and context to counter the misinformation. You understand why I'm saying? Okay, that's the second one, is to call on religious leaders, civil society organizations, and the Nigerian media as well as foreign media to communicate responsibly, avoiding language that could inflame sectarian divisions and fostering dialogue. Then the third prayer is to mandate the Committee on Foreign Affairs, National Security and Intelligence and Information, and National Orientation to collaborate with the executive in developing a coordinated national communication strategy to present accurate figures. If we had this kind of data, and it's in the internet and everywhere, Ted Cruz can easily be referred to all this. You see, what is happening in America on the average, and I'm glad you have been to America yourself. You know they are thinking. Somebody in, what is this place, Guzape? Somebody in Guzape, throughout his life, may never be to go to Gwagwalada.
Yeah.
So all he does is in Guzape because he has a grocery store, he has everything there. So his thinking is narrowed down. And they don't have open channels of communication, so to say, or media. Because if you want to hear anything reliably or near reliable, is you have to subscribe to CNN, you have to subscribe. Here we can juggle all those media, but in Nigeria, in America, it's not like that.
You have a very strong population of Christians in a Muslim-dominated Borno state, your senatorial district. And part of what, for example, Senator Ted Cruz is blaming Nigeria for is saying there is a mass murder of Christians. And so there are those who will look at places like Benue and Taraba, in Kwara South now, and those who are largely affected by some of these insurgency or this insecurity situation are in the Christian-dominated population. Do you think that global outlook of the situation is what has brought? Because if you go to Benue, which is largely Christian-dominated, Plateau Christian-dominated, and you find out of 240-something people killed in one day, you find 235 that are Christians.
Yes.
So someone can summarize and say, there is an attempt to wipe out Christians.
I think that is I can say naive thinking or the perspective that they're looking at. I give you an example. Borno State. It even started there. And it did not start because of religion. The Boko Haram started, when they say Boko Haram, it means Western education is forbidden, whether you are Muslim or you are Christian. You understand? And they go after you. As it is now, I'm speaking to you where I'm from Borno State. The casualties, 80% or more of the people that were affected by Boko Haram are Muslims from Kanuri in that area. Even now, 80% of the areas that have been displaced are the Kanuri areas. I represent Borno South. The Christian-dominated local governments, or so to say, where we have Christians, are about 3 or 4 local governments. You understand? As I'm speaking to you now, so Southern Borno is one of the senatorial district that is least affected by the insurgents. If you go to all the local government in Northern Borno, except these local government capitals, all of the local governments there are displaced. They are in their local government headquarters, except recently where the governor Baba Ganazulu is deliberately and personally, taking interest in resettling some of these people. Even with that, the highest, my local government benefited highest in the resettlement because when he started the resettlement, 12 communities were resettled in my local government. As it is now, up to now, even in his local government, Mafa, I think there are only 2 or 3 settlement villages that he has resettled. So about how many, getting to 20 local governments that are affected in Northern Borno where they are displaced, are Muslim dominated. When Boko Haram was at its peak in 2014 or so, there were 120,000 people, Muslims, that were displaced in the far Cameroon. It was recently when the governor again makes deliberate effort to resettle them, to bring them back, in conjunction with this Ministry of Humanitarian and IOM, that they have reduced the number to 60,000. At the same time, let me give you another example from my own local government, from what we call the Goza East in the local government. They constitute about 6 wards. 60,000 of them were displaced and moved right away to Cameroon as refugees. Up to now that we are speaking, there's quite a number of them in Minuao, or what they call. But the government made effort, and let me also add that even that one, majority are the Christians, but there are still some Muslims in Minuao there. So I'm telling you that this issue of insecurity or terrorism affects everybody. I come from both Christian and Muslim family. You know that my mom is a Christian. My immediate junior sister of the same mother is Diana, and Martina and David and Naomi. Naomi was the one that on her own decided to be a Muslim again. So she became Aisha. This is how we live. Now let me give you info. The current president of Kokin in Jos, the current national president of Christian Church of Christ in Nigeria, his name is Amos Muzo. He's from my local government and we are related. Then the deputy chairman of Northern Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, is Bishop Muhammad Naga. He's my brother. So what are these people that are ignorant? And as you rightly said, if you attack Goza, you are likely to hit on Christians and Muslims. But if you attack Malafatory, you just hit on Muslims.
So quickly, has anyone been able to reach out to Senator Ted Cruz?
No, directly. I'm trying to do that.
I have a communication with him.
I'm trying to
educate him.
Yeah, I will try. I'm trying to do that after the Senate decision. But let me take you again. Recently,
give me a moment, sir. We need to go on another break. And when we come back, there are concerns also from Kwara State.
Yeah, I'm taking you to that.
Just give me a moment. Let's take another break and we'll come back and talk about Kwara State. And of course, I'm worried also about the performance of the budget. Has anything really happened on the 2025 budget? We are heading into 2026. What exactly is going on? We'll be right back. Ndume, we're talking about security, and Senator Ted Cruz is saying about 50,000 Nigerian Christians have been murdered in what he described as an activity that looks like genocide. Since 2009, he said about 2,000 schools, 18,000 churches destroyed by what he called Islamist armed groups, but did not cite a source of his information. So Nigerian government lawmakers are saying they will reach out to Washington to dispute some of the fact or some of the basis of the information of that senator. But there are other issues that came up. The concern about insecurity in places like Kwara, in the southern part of Kwara, is generating a lot of concern. But how are you and your colleagues, Senator, dealing with that situation, especially coming from Kwara? Kwara has been, guess what Kwara has been called? State of harmony.
Oh, what of our own? The state of peace in Borno.
But you don't know peace.
Yeah, since 2009. It's unfortunate what happened is happening in Kwara, but as you can see today, it was brought under a matter of urgent national importance by the deputy leader, I think, and where the Senate is reacting to it. But on the bottom of all this is that more attention should be paid to the issue of security and welfare of Nigerian citizens. That is the main purpose of government as defined in Section 14.2 of the Constitution. I still say that Nigerian government should put this issue of the priority of security as number one. Fortunately, Nigeria is now making more money and the government is harvesting more revenue. That should be channeled towards providing security and welfare of Nigerian citizens.
So this government is not doing enough yet. Look, in terms of budgeting for the military.
No, yeah.
Because you, as the chair of the committee on the army, you've always clamored.
Yeah, no, it's a reality. Can you believe that the Nigerian soldier, as at just with the coming of the new crop of the security chiefs, things are improving. During Christopher, this chief of army staff, but before they came in, the salary of a private in the Nigerian army is $32. Is that not ridiculous? 49,000 naira is not even up to 50. But recently now, this government must be credited with that. They doubled it. So Nigerian soldier is collecting, I'm not sure even if it is all, but 104. If you change that into naira, into dollars that we talk about, is $65 to $67 per month. And the United States Army private, as I'm speaking to you, they call them B4. Their entry is their salary is $2,400 per month. You transfer that.
So there needs to be an attention.
No, yes, when you are talking about army, they want them to perform. They are not up to 300,000. The police, and you pay them 50,000, and you expect them to perform. You give them AK-47, and their salary cannot buy them 2 bags of rice. I mean, we are not serious in this matter.
Senator,
the security of a citizen. Now, if you remove me as a senator or say you are not going to be paid, but I know that I can sleep with my 2 eyes and drive my car if I decide this night to go to Goza and without fear of any security. I'll prefer that. There's no price for better than security.
Senator,
and we are complaining about the soldiers. How can you, if you go and see the salary of our soldiers from major downward, you pity them.
Senator, we need to close quickly, but there is one important thing I'd like you to touch on. And we are asking, there might be an amendment to the appropriation of 2025, but there is a concern about the performance of the 2025 budget. Just in 30 seconds. Are you worried about that?
Very worried. In fact, I'm worried about many things, especially about appropriation. And especially when, you can see that I get sometimes angry. It's just sometimes emotional about this thing. When they brought the budget, they were hurrying us up to pass it. We passed the budget. Where is it now? 2025 budget. We are in October. Where is it? Let's be honest. And you expect people to just keep quiet? People like me? No.
No capital releases.
Not even any releases. As far as I'm concerned. Because we are and now they are supposed to even bring supplementary budget. I heard. They are now, they must bring a 2026 budget. And I'm even confused. And I said, okay, if we're in 2025, we have not started implementing the budget.
Now we are back. Sorry, let me come again. Take one. Okay. Now that we are back and we have really watched that video, we have seen the video. You guys, I know that you guys have seen the video. So right now, I think I will leave it. Let's iron on this thing. after watching that video, you saw the speech of Akpabio and the speech of this man from the National Assembly, and he was talking about the genocide, how they are trying to see that they talk to the people of America, the administration in America, that is Donald Trump administrative, who is a guy that is called Destros there, who is making sure that Nigeria has a sanction. And if Nigeria will have a sanction with what is going on now, with suffering of Nigerian, it will really go a long way of affecting Nigeria, because Nigerian is not a productive country. We are no longer productive. We are now taking from people in country. We have to make sure we get things from there. Even the food we eat, even everything is being imported out from there. So with the experience of you, because I know last time you went to Nigeria, and the last before that was 2000 and where you were kidnapped, where you were 2029, where you had this bandit that came on you to kidnap you. So I will talk from that experience. Let me talk for you, because you have experienced this thing before, where you went to Nigeria and you were almost kidnapped from was it Oshodi? Yeah. I think Oshodi area, near Charity bus stop, near the military barracks there, and you were almost kidnapped. Now let's put it this way: now that you came from British and you were born in UK, and being that you have already known your root, that you are a Nigerian, and you went to Nigerian and you're a Christian, and kidnappers, a random kidnapper which came now to kidnap you, and I didn't say it should happen, and I'm so grateful it didn't work out for them, that you were rescued. But let's say if it has happened, and you being a Christian, and these people are the kidnappers, just like what the Boko Haram and the Fulani henchmen are doing, killing and kidnapping, and we don't know that those people that came on you, maybe they might be Boko Haram, they might be Fulani henchmen, we don't know who they are that came on you, and this kind of thing happen, and you being a Christian, and if let's say it will not happen in Jesus' name, that like I said to you, I say thank God that you were not taken out, that they didn't succeed. But let's put it in, let us frame a kind of guessing that okay, eventually that it happened and you were taken away. How do you think people will feel, being you a Christian, and people that took you away are kidnappers, which some of them are Muslims, some of them are Christians, we don't know who gang they are coming from. How do you think people will take it with what is happening now? Because during all those periods were a lot of kidnapping, genociding, a lot of things that was happening during those periods of time. So how do you think that Nigerians and the UK will take it? Will they take it like the way Americans take it, that is a genocide, or is something that is a religious war? That is why every Christian that get into Nigeria, they want to kidnap, they want to do. So what do you think? Let me leave you on that aspect.
Well, I feel that they will think that it is a genocide. Okay. That because of the constant killings and things that's happening. Okay. I feel that that when every foreigners that comes to Nigeria to spend holiday, they feel that they're all part of that.
Okay, yeah, you're making sense there. And how do you think? Because during that time, because after that thing happened, you wrote a letter to the UK. UK police, and also you wrote a letter to the UK embassy and the police to inform them of what has happened. Is that also? We thank God that I'm telling you, when I saw that, I was really, really glad that you came out of it. But you wrote a letter. So what was their concern? Were they really concerned? What were their concern? Were they concerned about your protection? About what? I just want to know, what were their concern?
They were worried because they know I'm from here and I'm not from Nigeria, although they know that my heritage is Nigerian, but they were really worried about my safety, and they said that as soon as I return back, that I should come to the station, and to give a statement and to come with the evidence.
Evidence. That means they are trying to, like, what they were trying to do was get a full evidence and then go to the Nigerian to deal with the Nigerian authority themselves. That's very good. But with all this scenario, what do you think? What do you yourself think with what has happened, with the long time you have been going to Nigeria, seeing a lot of things? Because I know the one you experienced too, going to Yanoba, the armed robbery, the armed robbery, those shooting, everything that you have really, all those things that you have really experienced in Nigeria. What do you really think? Do you think is insecurity, or do you think it's a religious war? What do you think? With all you have seen in Nigeria, what do you think? Please, I need you to say what you really think that is really going on in Nigeria.
I really feel that it's mainly the insecurity. It's mainly the insecurity of how. And
why do you think is the insecurity? Why is there? Okay, let me put it this way. Why is insecurity in Nigeria? What do you think that is bringing this insecurity?
I feel because of the way the country is being ruled by the president, because he's getting all the protection and getting all the policemen and navy whenever he goes out, and whenever he goes out to wherever he's going to, even on holiday. But the Nigerian citizens themselves, they're not protected at all. And even when something happens, or they see something that happens and then they report it, the police will immediately tell them that they're the problem.
So what about the poverty that being said by the assembly? Do you think poverty is part of the insecurity in Nigeria? Do you think poverty, that people are stealing, people are doing, citizens are finding things so hard, do you think that is part of insecurity too? Do you think that it can cause insecurity in Nigeria?
That's also part of it. Because there's no money, there's no food, and families,
and people are trying to survive in one way or the other. So people want to survive by even using their own stealing, doing whatever thing they can do. Everything. So what was your whole intake in Nigeria when you were? What was your whole experience? What was your whole intake? And why do you stay with all these things that are happening in Nigeria? You keep going to Nigeria. I'm not saying you should not go. Nigeria, don't come here and attack me. I'm not saying that she should not go to Nigeria. She's a Nigerian, she can go. But with everything that is going on, you still love to be in Nigeria. Are you not scared or something?
It's not that I'm not scared. I am, but I know that with God is there to protect me no matter what. No matter what.
Okay, let's put God. Not that we can put God aside. Let's put God aside for here. Let's just go into. It's not like God, please. It's not like I put it aside. But let's just say that you on your own. Yeah. Then what is giving you that confidence?
What mainly is giving me the confidence is because being around people, fellow Nigerians like myself, even though I don't really know them, but I like the crowd, like getting to know people. Compared to.
So, but because we don't have enough time now, let's go round up with whatever. So, do you think that what is happening in Nigeria now, because the US, I know everybody, we are trying to see. Do you think that what the US is doing right now is a misinformation? Do you think that US banning Nigeria, sanctioning Nigerian from getting what they're supposed to get, from trading, doing things that they're supposed to do? Do you think it is information of that genocide of killing, that the Americans are getting misinformation? They are not getting the right? Do you think so?
Well, I think that that America, I don't think they've really done their investigation very well. They need to look deep into where the problem is coming from before they even think of sanctioning. They need to, even if they have to bring as many officers or many CIA or whatever, they need to go deep into
and make an investigation. Yeah. So you see, American, you can see a British telling you that a British Nigerian who has been to Nigerian and has, seen a lot and still going to Nigeria with everything, looking at it as not genocide but insecurity. And because he's looking at it as insecurity, it seems to her that it is not a genocide, it's not something that religious killing or anything, it's just insecurity, poverty, and so many things. So, but to give you the last question, let me answer the last question. What do you think can solve this insecurity in Nigeria?
What I think that will solve it is the president himself. He needs to learn how to not only just think about himself, but he should think about the citizens, because he needs to remember that Nigeria is not just only his country, but the whole citizens themselves are all part of Nigeria.
Okay, thank you. So what do you think, because we don't have time, so now thank you very much for that one. So the last thing that I want to say is, what do you think that the citizens should do to secure themselves right now, a fast security?
Well, what I think that the citizens should do,
because if you look at what is happening in this country, everywhere, like here, that they used to have private securities, securities, they will have the police, will have the both the private one that walks around, the securities, the one that walk around, the what they call it, the private securities, the tower hamlet securities, they are this thing. So with this idea that is happening here, I was expected to upload that kind of, what do you think that Nigerian should do the same thing that UK is doing in terms of security aspect? Because Nigeria has vigilante, Nigeria has this. What do you think that can be put on, if you look at where you were living in Jesus, is it Jesus? You call it Jesus Estate. It's no longer Monkey Village. It's called Monkey Village near Estate. So you can see the security that was there. Is that also because you were telling me of the security that place? You can walk in the night, walk anytime. There was not in this particular security. So with what experience, what do you think? Do you think Nigerian should invest now more on vigilantes?
I think that
because of what you experience at Monkey Village, because you say you were sleeping like a child, and you wake up so nicely, but the only problem I have is what the sunfly, which does not have security. Those one there's no security for them. So I need you to that this is where we are rounding up now because of that.
I believe that the president he needs to think about, just like over here, that they should adapt the security measures, just like what they're doing here, and to adapt that idea in Nigeria and to invest in getting not just vigilantes but
other private security. So when you come to the federal, this is not the state aspect. When you come to the federal aspect, do you think that we should adopt that Nigerians should have like a private militaries or something, private militaries, like I extract a private ministry if Nigerians, or what do you think? Because we have the federal level that they have to secure the federal level, all the toll gate, all the main gate to enter Nigerian main borders. So what do you think? Because the last time soldiers were complaining there's no gun for them. What did they do with the gun? What did they do with it? So what do you think? Because if you see this place, soldiers have been paying $2,000 something pounds in a month. American soldiers, which are paid $2,000 something dollars in a month, which is almost roughly 4-5 million naira in Nigeria. But Nigerian soldiers have been paying $36 a month, which is not up to which is not up to 40 some, which is not up to 60,000 or 40,000 or something naira. That so with this kind of money, do you think the military can work?
No.
So what do you think that we done that can make federal militaries to work to secure us in that country?
I actually think that private military will work.
And can Nigeria afford private military?
Yeah, they can. Is the president himself?
So what may I think is that they should pay the militaries very well.
Yeah.
Because I feel that what is really happening in that why they are not really working well is because they are not being paid well.
Yeah.
So I think they should put more money into at least pay them up to 1,000. Yeah, the military should pay up to 1,000.
Yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah.
And not 50, not 60.
Yeah.
That is too poor.
It is.
I think this
poor.
is making them not to even put in the best. And they should also be giving, I think they should be giving guns too. They should be giving weapons to fight insecurity in Nigeria.
Yeah, they should.
Anyway, thank you very much for coming to the show. You guys, you can see the reason why we still have a desk today. We still have more of a desk because we'll have this, and the desk will be here mostly all the time now, because now she's going on holiday and now she has all the time to be with us. So we'll be discussing a lot of topics. So get more of a desk. So we'll be meeting a desk later today for another update. And the desk, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And what did you say to the people?
Well, thank you all for having me, and I really appreciate, and I will definitely be on later on.
Yeah, later on. So I want to say thank you. We don't want to go long. Please subscribe, comment, and like this video. You can say
share with your friends.
And share with your friend, and we will see you in the next video. God bless you, and bye for now.